In this question, we're told that Jeremy has to cover 3 tanks completely with paint. Each tank is in the shape of a cylinder, with a top and a bottom. The tank has a diameter of 1.6 meters and a height of 1.8 meters. We're told that Jeremy has 7 tins of paint, and each tin of paint covers 5 meters squared. We need to find out if Jeremy has got enough paint to cover completely the 3 tanks. Well, we can start by finding the surface area of one tank. The tank is in the shape of a cylinder, and to find the surface area of a cylinder, we do 2 pi rl plus 2 pi r squared. The 2 pi r squared comes from the 2 circles at the top and the bottom, and the 2 pi rl is the area of the curved surface of the cylinder, where L is equal to the height of the cylinder. We're told that the diameter is 1.6 meters, and so the radius of the cylinder is 1.6 divided by 2, which is equal to 0.8 meters. And so to find the surface area of one tank, 2 pi rl is equal to 2 multiplied by pi multiplied by 0.8 multiplied by the height of 1.8, and then 2 pi r squared is 2 multiplied by pi multiplied by 0.8 squared. Now let's simplify this, and we can leave our answers in terms of pi. The surface area of one tank is equal to 2.88 pi plus 1.28 pi, which is equal to 4.16 pi meters squared. Now Jeremy has to cover 3 tanks completely with paint, and so we need to find the surface area of 3 tanks. Since we already know the surface area of one tank, we just need to multiply this value by 3. And so the surface area of 3 tanks is 3 multiplied by 4.16 pi, which is equal to 12.48 pi meters squared. And putting this value into our calculator, this is approximately equal to 39.2 meters squared. We've found the surface area of 3 tanks. And so this is the minimum amount of paint that Jeremy needs in order to completely cover all 3 tanks. Now let's find out how much paint Jeremy actually has. We're told that Jeremy has 7 tins of paint, and each tin of paint is able to cover 5 meters squared. And so Jeremy has 7 multiplied by 5, which is equal to 35 meters squared worth of paint. But now we calculated that Jeremy needs a minimum of 39.2 meters squared of paint. Now since 35 is less than 39.2, we can conclude that Jeremy does not have enough paint to cover all 3 tanks completely. And it's really important that we have this final conclusive statement which directly answers the question, and so we've clearly stated that Jeremy does not have enough paint. Now this question is worth 5 marks. We get the first 2 marks for finding the surface area of one tank. We get a mark for finding 2 pi rl, and a mark for finding 2 pi r squared. We get the third mark for finding the surface area of 3 tanks, which told us that we need at least 39.2 meters squared worth of paint. We get the fourth mark for finding the amount of paint that Jeremy has, by doing 7 multiplied by 5 in order to find that Jeremy has 35 meters squared worth of paint. And we get the fifth and final mark for realising that Jeremy only has 35 meters squared of paint, but he needs at least 39.2 meters squared of paint. And so this 5th mark is for conclusively stating that Jeremy does not have enough paint to completely cover the 3 tanks, allowing us to get the full 5 marks needed in this question.